Welcome to the Talk to Me podcast with your favorite host, Dumela Marule, where we talk about everything life, relationships, mental health, and business. We'll be talking to many experts in the field, sharing my own experiences, and providing you with actionable tools that you can use in your life. I'm here to help you navigate the ups and downs of young adulthood and provide you with the tools and resources to help you succeed. So whether you're feeling lost, confused, or just need a friend to talk to, I'm here for that. Listen to our podcast on Apple Play, Google Play, and Spotify. And don't forget to hit subscribe, rate our podcast, and review it. I'm here to help you make the best of your young adult years. So let's get started. Welcome back, everyone. I am super ecstatic to actually talk and start off this new season of the Talk to Me podcast. We had a few episodes released, but I think I am going all in this year, primarily because I know there's a vision that I want to create with my brand, with myself, and all of the goals I would like to achieve. In today's episode, I want to delve deep into a topic that I think a lot of people never really, feel that they know or actually talk about. And it's something that's quite important that I think as an individual, whether male or female, we're young adults, and that's primarily my whole entire crowd, is how does one create a high value life? And a high value life, there's been such controversies in terms of how to be a high value man, how to be a high value woman. Are you an alpha? Are you a beta? Do you give off feminine energy, masculine energy? But I think we're always just missing the basic concepts of how to just have a high value life as a particular individual. And I'll be using myself obviously as an example, to steer us in the direction with this particular conversation. But the idea of having a high value life is that it should be one, a meaningful one, fulfilling and purpose driven. There's many aspects that could make up the life that you want. But if it's not fulfilling, there's not a level of your cup is filled, you are happy, you know how to practice gratitude. There is a level of contentment, not complacency, but contentment. Then there will be those missing pieces. Is it meaningful to you? Is there a reason to live? Is there a reason to live the life that you live right now? Is it even worth it? Does it have a certain purpose with regards to it? So that life, it's a life lived on your own terms, according to your own values. But there are a few things that actually do contribute to that high value life that I actually want to, talk about. And it's about 5 key areas that I think make up an individual's entire life from when they're born to till they die. And as young people, I don't think we really take the time to sit down and evaluate all these 5 aspects of our lives. And I think I would definitely encourage you to take a journal and jot these down as we talk about them, and ask yourself some provoking questions that, can incite feelings. Some of these would be hurtful, some of these would be regretful, but better to talk to yourself and engage in that conversation to yourself so that you know which areas should be the areas that you are needing a little bit of work or more than a lot of work to be done. The first that we're going to talk about is purpose. An aspect of a high value life is purpose. Do you have a strong sense of purpose for the essential life that you want to create? Purpose can be something or anything that can give your life meaning and direction. It could be your career, it could be your family, it could be your faith, it could be your community. So it's intertwining some of these aspects. It does not necessarily have to be one. It could be anything that you have that could bring you the life that you want. Purpose is somewhat similar to a compass or a roadmap, a GPS. Is that without that, how then do you have a level of direction in your life? Your purpose is the very thing that gives your life meaning. It basically steers you in the direction that you want, whether it is to the direction of your career, the direction of your family, or if you're a faith-driven person, even the people that you define as your tribe, your community, those could be your friends, your family. What is the purpose, or what makes you live? What really makes you live? What gives you that spark in your heart to make you want to move forward with your life? What drives you? So sit down and just ask yourself some of these questions, because you need to be very brutally honest about, are you happy with the career you are living or having? And is it moving you to the direction of what you would call a high value life for yourself? Is your family relationships actually something that is driving you, giving you purpose? Is your faith moving you in that direction? Are the people you have around you, your tribe/community, enabling you to find your true purpose? Are they supporting you even when you have found your purpose in this life? Do they give meaning to your life? Are they your flower garden that blossoms and blossoms and blossoms? Or do they wither? Are they dying? Every cold winter, they can't sustain. They just die. So you need to just think about some of those aspects for yourself. The next one is values. What are your values? Values are one of the most important things that make up a person. Whether we like it or not, each and every one of us actually carries a value, whether we know it or we don't. Values guide your decisions and actions, and they help you to create a life that is true to yourself. Remember, I mentioned that a purpose is actually the actual compass itself, or the map, or the GPS. Values, it's that small little needle that points you, should you go north, should you go south, southeast, southwest. Now with the GPS, it's quite interesting because you can always recenter. Should you maybe be moving or steered outside of the direction that you should be taking, you could always recenter. So what values do you have in your life that guide your decision-making process, that move you to make the actions that are required to have the life that you want? If you are morally thoughtful human being, and I speak more so to anyone that could possibly be in a romantic relationship or dating, if you know that morally, as an individual, you don't like to live a specific life, do you allow yourselves to have any form of sneaky links? Do you allow yourselves to be taken advantage of by someone of the opposite sex? Do you give yourself freely to someone? And you can also take morality into a sense of, as an individual, do you take care of your health the way that you actually should be taking care of your health? Do you actually sustain yourself the way that you want to? Are you cognizant of the fact that all of these factors can hinder your life? How much do you drink? Do you drink a lot? What are your values to alcohol? What are your values to smoking? What are your values to cursing, watching violence? What are your values to some of the atrocities that happen to this world? What are your values? Once you then listen and hear yourself answer some of the questions that you could ask yourself, you can then help yourself create a life that is true to you, not true to someone else, not true to your parents, not true to your partner, not true to your child, but true to yourself. The world doesn't need you to be anyone else but you. And once you've found your values, trust and believe you me, the process of actually finding your purpose is quite easy. because you filtered your mind to what is fulfilling and what isn't, what gives you that little nudge to move into that right direction comes a lot easier than being someone that has no values. You don't know left to right. You don't know right to wrong for yourself and defined by you, and knowing why you do what you do and why you don't do what you do. You pick up habits that are just not in the direction of the life that you want, only because you have not recentered back to what your true values are to you. The third aspect that we'll talk about is our relationships. Relationships are key to having a high value life, because if you now remember, our purpose and our values, a portion of it have a level of our community. The people we surround ourselves with have a high impact. And when I say high impact, I mean they could make or break you into actually being the person that you want. Having strong relationships with people are the key ingredient to a high value life. They are the fuel to your car. They are the ignition. They are anything that will act as a key ingredient to your high value life. If you have people in your life that are supportive, loving, and encouraging, it becomes easier to move into the direction of a high value life. Sometimes, yes, we have people that don't necessarily support and love us and encourage us. But then I'll ask you the question about your values is, why do you allow yourself to be surrounded by people who don't ignite you or add so much value to you? Why is your core focus on keeping those people around as opposed to letting them go? You should be living a life with people that want to help you grow. They want to help you learn, and they want to make you feel happy and fulfilled. That is the main objective. 2024 cannot be the year where we're still dragging people who don't support our dreams, who don't support our goals, who tell us we're dreaming too big, who tell us everything is impossible, nothing's unrealistic. People that think with a small peanut-sized brain, who don't have values, people who don't have a level of direction. And it just doesn't mean that you need to fully cut them off, but you can decide what cutting them off means. If it means minimizing communication, not telling people about your dreams, not, you love them to death, more so maybe not to death, but you love those people and you still want them in your life, but at the same time, you don't want to entertain their thought process. You don't want to hang out with them a lot. Then you need to define what cutting them off is. But at the end of the day, if you keep anything that is rotten in your life, your high value life will always have a rotten piece around it. So it's always up to you to decide, are you going to keep people who are energy givers instead of energy takers in your life to achieving that which you want? Or is it the opposite? So sit down and reanalyze. Who do I have around me? Why do I have these people even around me? Do they even actually know me the way I know myself? Do they know my purpose? Do they actually know my values? Because that is my anchor. Do they really abide by it? Do they respect my boundaries the way that I know they should be respected? Do they support me to grow? Do they want to learn how to grow? Should I find myself in a high value life and I want to help the people around me, are they willing to grow? Or are they stuck in their ways with an unchanging mindset? Let 2024 be the year where we reignite ourselves with true relationships that move us in the directions that we want for our own lives. A relationship where it is not just a give or a take. It is both. It's a dual connection with everyone that you have around you. You can do this. It is all up to you, and it is all you. You are the only person that allows certain people into your life, and you are the only person that can take them out. So if you need to do the deep cleaning, the trash being left out, do it. just throw things out that don't move in the direction of the very life that you want. Now, the last two aspects of a high value life are ones that are going to challenge you. Because if you do these two right, both your purpose and value system moves a lot easier for you. The first will be your personal growth. Personal growth is defined by yourself, depending on what it is that you obviously want to achieve in life. Your personal growth is tied to your purpose, because for you to have a high value life, it's one that is constantly evolving. You're making the necessary changes to move in the life that you want. It should always be a life that's all about learning, all about growing, both personally for yourself and obviously probably financially and professionally to move you in the direction that you want. It's there to challenge you to become a better person, to make your life more fulfilling. Now, if you go back to what we spoke about with purpose and why I say you can't have purpose without personal growth, it's because purpose is the map, the compass, the GPS that shows you the map itself. But personal growth is the ability to change over time, is the ability to say, if we are in point A and we need to reroute to point B, how do we then move about that? Do we have to walk? Do we have to take a car? Do we have to transition and take any other mode of transport? So being able to be agile is a big thing when it comes to personal growth and purpose. It's never a straight line. There are multiple routes to getting to the same place and achieving the same thing. It's just how you do it. So if you're an individual that can't actually challenge yourself to say, in my life, in my career, with my family, with my faith, and with my community, are these areas constantly growing, or am I stuck? Should I always be learning? Are the people around me learning and growing? Am I challenging myself and am I challenging them? Are they becoming better people? And am I becoming a better person? Because if they're becoming better people, that means it makes it a lot easier for you to know that your tribe is moving in the same wavelength as you are. So look at what your personal growth has been for the last year, especially since we started January. We started 2024 and we're now in January. Look at where you were across board. Look at how you were actually living your life. I know for myself, I've got a lot of personal growth that I need to do to steer me in the direction of the life that I want to live and where I foresee myself at the end of 2024. And it is going to be brutal to myself because I will be shedding tears. I will be telling myself that people have to be let go in my life. I already know that I will be having to motivate myself more than I can rely on other people to motivate me because of what I want. And when I am in that process, am I also in the process of motivating other people? Because there is no way that I can be a winner and in my winning season without people around me winning as well. So I already know that my tribe, there's a lot of work that will have to take place with them too. Only by doing that introspective am I now able to say to myself that for me to grow, I have to make a lot of changes. Because just to believe you me, the 2023 me is not the same 2024 me that I want to have. Nope. I absolutely am not with that. I want to change relatively all aspects of my life. Every single thing that I had envisioned in 2023, a portion of it happened, But more so, I would like to take a surmountable leap in 2024. And I know I can do it because I saw a portion of it in 2023. I believe in myself that much that I know that I can actually do it. So I'm up for the challenge. Are you? Are you up for the challenge? Are you able to dedicate the personal growth to you? And this will never end. 2025 will come, 2026. By 2030, you should be living a different life than what you are seeing yourself in right now. But don't think no one's coming to save you, because there isn't anyone. You are the only person that's going to save yourself. Because as grown adults, young grown adults, we have to be accountable for the lives that we have. It's cold, it's brutal, it's a harsh reality, but there is no way around it. No one is going to put a pacifier. No one is going to make you wear a diaper. You can't take time back. The only thing you can do is move forward. So you got this. Just laser focus on exactly what you want, and it will then aspire. The last portion to cement all our high value life will be about our health. You can't make it through this brutally excruciating, challenging portion of yourself to mask a new person if you aren't taking care of the one important thing, which is your health. And your health is in 3 aspects. That's how I see it. It's your physical, it's your mental, it's your emotional health. All of these are essential for the high value life. You need to be someone that's much well aware of where you are on your radar when it comes to your physical, mental, emotional health. You need to take care of yourself for you to be able to live the life that you want to the fullest. There is no point in doing all of this. There's no point in achieving the career goals, the monetary goals, the materialistic goals, the family relationships. If you are constantly sick, depressed, bedridden, can't move, can't run, can't walk, out of breath, there is absolutely no point. And if you are going to do the first step out of all of these aspects, get your health right. That is the only way, my friend. Get your health right. It is going to be hard. It is going to be terrifying. But you have to get your health right. You do. Now let's break it down so we can make it a little bit more practical. Let's go with the first lot, physical. That is the most easiest for me, if I may say, amongst the other 2, because it is not the most draining. Our body can recover quite easily when it comes to our physical strain that we put on it when we are exercising, whether in the fitness game, whether you are eating healthy, all of that. Your body has the ability to recover. Now you need to just ask yourself, how many times do I actually exercise? What is my fitness goals? Where do I see myself moving in terms of my health physically? What do I eat? How often do I drink? How much water do I have each day? Those are just some of the questions that can help you basically create a guide as to where are you? Are you giving yourself a 1 out of 10, a 5 out of 10, a 4 out of 10, or are you more so a 7 or 8? Understand that, remember, to have a high value life, you need to cement all of these aspects together. The more you keep working on something, the better it gets. The better you become at it, the easier it becomes. So there is that personal growth that we spoke about earlier, where you are constantly evolving, constantly changing, constantly moving in the direction. That's happening. So if you take care of your health, you're moving in that direction. You're just going up and up the ladder. And before you know it, you would have reached the top. You would have taken that quote-unquote surmountable leap that I was talking about, because you did mundane things every single day to move in the direction that you want. And that's all it takes. That is literally all it takes. So physically analyze where you are and what are you putting in, and are you actually doing yourself a disservice when it comes to your physical health. Now, if you take the second portions, your mental and emotional. To be honest, I don't think those two can work separately. They are a duo that needs to work together. They are a pair, because everything is just inside. It's your emotions that you feel inside of you. It's your cognitive brain. It is your heart that is ripping you apart. It is everything. Mentally and emotionally, where are you? Are you in ER? Do you need CPR? Or mental institution? Or are you figuratively okay? Where are you? You know, how do you feel? How do you feel about life? Is it moving in the direction of it being fulfilling? Are you grateful for it? Are you content? Not complacent. Are you content? Meaning where you are, you recognize it and you could still do more to move yourself forward, but are you content? Are you happy? Such a simple question is so difficult to answer for some. Are you really happy? Do you even know what happiness is? How often do you laugh? How often do you cry? How often do you sit in sadness because something sad has happened? How often do you grieve after you've lost someone you love or a relationship has ended? Now, there's a few things that I always do to help me move and be mentally and emotionally stable and constantly evolving. One is I journal. I used to be an individual that was very shy in terms of writing down my thoughts because I just didn't understand the concept. I didn't understand what it meant. It was a pain. But because I talk a lot, my brain obviously runs with words, and I have now resorted to journaling as a way to streamline my thoughts, because I could be all over the place sometimes. So I streamline my thoughts. I literally speak to myself, and I do a lot of vision and perspective thinking, a lot of focused thoughts, a lot of meditation also, and manifestation. Not only from a spiritual level, but from an idea of I'm a very spiritual individual, and I believe that talking to God, that's what I believe in. Talking to God is my first foundation, my anchor to everything that could happen for me in my own life. Without that, I genuinely feel like I'd be lost. I have been lost before. I have been seeking, and I then was found. So doing all of that has helped me. Another beautiful thing I've been incorporating in my life is deep breathing. I have this thing where I go on YouTube, I get a meditated guide to do some deep breathing work. And deep breathing has helped me tremendously, because I've sometimes realized it's not that I'm emotionally a wreck. It's just that my mind is tired. It just needs a break, you know? So with that being said, deep breathing has helped me relax myself, has helped me to basically step out of the world, be in my own physical realm, and go back in when I'm recuperated. Taking a nap, there really isn't any injustice to that. I am a nap individual, and I don't care what anyone says. I genuinely think naps are good for the brain, naps are good for the body, especially when you are exercising religiously. Taking a nap is one of the most important things. So please do take the time to sleep. Sleep those hours that are necessary, but also if you feel tired, take a nap. If you feel tired, drink some water, because half the time you're probably not really sleepy also. I know that for sure. You're probably just dehydrated. Your body feels and is feeding off of nothing. So drink some water, pump in some electrolytes in your body, and trust me, you'll probably be back in the swing of things. If you have the time, if you have the resources, take up therapy. I know a lot of people have a stigma against it. A lot of people talk badly about it, but I'm not one of those people. I've done it before. I want to go back, and you will not get better if you don't seek the correct help. Sometimes the journaling, sometimes the meditating, sometimes the deep breathing does not work, because you need to speak to someone else who's more level-minded, has a level head, and can steer you in the direction that you need. So do therapy. I know of now an app called BetterHelp. It's an American-based application, that assists. This is not sponsored or anything of that sort, but I'm South African, and one thing I can definitely recommend is try it out. I love how it's tailored to meet our needs, especially in this digital world that we live in. And that's one of my 2024 goals, is to actually go back to therapy. And therapy doesn't necessarily mean you are suffering in life, you're going through crazy things. There are moments in our lives that we do go through crazy moments. We lose a loved one, we get into a car accident, or any type of accident in life, or we have to grieve a relationship or breakup, or we get sick, or we just get depressed with life. We lose our purpose and our meaning, and nothing's fulfilled, right? But there are instances where you just don't understand what's going on. Everything seems to be losing its way. Nothing seems to be working out the way that you want it to be. So if you take the time to actually speak to someone who can just show you some things and ask you questions that you probably aren't asking yourself, it really can help you. So I challenge you. I know I've gone over my time actually with this particular episode, but I just wanted to take the time to speak to you guys and say, you have this in your hands. It is yours to take. Carry that map, carry that campus, ignite your life again. Let it be your light. Move in the direction that you want, because it is your life to make. I am happy that you guys have been committed to this journey. You guys have been committed to engaging with me on all social platforms. And I appreciate each and every one of you guys that continue to listen. And with that being said, thank you so much and good night. Thank you for listening to the Talk to Me podcast. We hope that you find this episode quite helpful and you really enjoyed it. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to reach out to me on my social media platforms. And don't forget that you can also leave a comment under the comment section below. Should you be listening to Apple, either on Google Play or Spotify, do not forget to hit that subscribe, rate our podcast, and review it. I really love to hear any of the suggestions that you guys may have for any of our future episodes. So I'm always looking for ways to improve our show and make it more relevant to my listeners. Thank you again for listening. Until then, see you soon.